Hello viewers and welcome to Facebook Live in our fabulous tech studio. Today we're joined by Marsha, who you all know as our art teacher here at the centre. Welcome Marsha. Today we're going to be doing Christmas craft and Christmas card making. So we're really excited about this. Just a quick recap of last week's video. Hope you found it helpful. Any comments and feedback is mostly appreciative. Remember, we was in the studio, the kitchen last week with Aisha doing flapjacks, healthy snacks. Did you have a go at cooking them yourself? Did you find it helpful? Did it inspire you to want to cook healthy snacks on the go? Please share your feedback and comments are most welcome. And now we are going to take it over to Marsha with Christmas card making.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
So today we are going to do a very simple card, a Christmas card, as you can see. So outside we have Merry Christmas, which I'll show you how to do. Very easy. And then inside, using, hopefully you have some magazines or some paper. Inside it's going to be a 3D card. Very simple, but there's a few bits that we will have to be quite careful with when you're folding all of these little bits here. That's part of the Christmas tree. Okay, so I'm going to put this down for the minute, and we're going to start off with a piece of card. So I'm going to be using green card simply because it will show up on this white table a lot better than any other for the minute. But you of course can use white card. There we go, white card as well can be, and then you can decorate, you can paint the outside, all sorts of things. So what you're going to do is take a piece of paper and you're going to fold it over, taking the edges into half and then bend it. Score it slightly, not too much. Okay, so there's your card. So I'm going to put it aside and I'm going to use the green one. Yeah. So I asked for you to have some magazines. I have an Ocado Live here. Other magazines are allowed. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a really nice coloured. I prefer, rather than writing, you can have writing on there as well, but maybe one side can be nice and colourful. So I'm going to choose this one for the minute. But also I have prepared another one, which I seem to have lost right at this moment. So we're going to carry on with this one. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a concertina shape like this, okay, with lots of folds. You will understand in a minute.
Yes, it's
why it is. So for this, what you're going to do, the easiest way I find is to bend it over in half, again like your card. Okay. Then, once again, bend it into half again, so you will have quarters. One side. Make sure, or try to make sure, that they are quite straight. You can also do this by measuring. So if you measure your piece of paper and then divide it into segments of equal size, and then score it or bend it over, fold it over. So you have, this is the first, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 bends. Now what you're going to do is you're going to turn it over, and all of these bends you're going to fold over, so you have your peak, okay? So you're going to bend the edge over towards your peak. Okay, and then once again, your peak, bend the edge over towards the peak. So you can see now you're getting this concertina shape. It's quite thick at the moment, but you'll carry on bending it once we get to the end and folding it, and make sure that the edges are quite flat. And then one more time, bend over. Okay, so you've got your thicker shape. Okay, so here comes the slightly more difficult part. You're going to do all of that again. So you have your peak and you have your edge. You're going to fold your edge towards your peak. So that is becoming, those little folds, little lines are becoming thinner and thinner. Okay, if it helps you, you can turn it as you go along. So one more. Now you will find on this round, some of your folds are going the wrong way. That's okay, as long as you just make sure that they are, see, I already went wrong here slightly. All of the edges are like a peak. That makes any sense? Okay, so one more time. Bend it, flatten it. I don't know whether you can see with this bit. And then bend it again.
So it's a real activity about patience, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, you need to have a bit of patience, and you'll get there in the end.
You'll get, and it gets
It's quite
easier
meditative
as well.
though, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Now the reason why I'm bending them over and folding them in half and then in half and in half, because if you just start making the folds as they are from just the side of the paper, you tend to, they normally don't go in a straight line. Well, they don't for me. So this was the easiest way that I found to make sure that your folds are straight, so you're getting straight lines.
And why is it important to have straight lines with this particular
Wow.
design?
Well, I mean, you will see later.
We will
Once
see
we
later?
start
Okay.
start sticking it, if your lines are not quite straight, the card, the actual card inside, is slightly skewy.
Sure.
So,
Right.
so this will take a little time.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing how this is going to develop.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, so we have this. Now, what we're going to do, so I have another one here which is a slightly longer because I have bent this one over again and again. So this one I have folded in half, not flat ways, not this way, but this way,
So horizontal.
horizontal,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
To get a slightly longer, you will
Oh,
see
yes,
why, to
yeah.
get slightly longer edge. But
Yeah.
it's good to have a few of these on hand, just so if you run out or you go wrong with one of them, you will always have a spare one.
That's good, isn't it? It's good
That
sort
is
of,
good. That is good.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a boring bit,
But
I've got to say.
we're learning something here, the
We
viewers.
are.
That's the main thing.
How to fold things
How to
very
fold things
straight.
straightly.
There we go. So I'm almost there.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
But that's the thing, isn't it? We're here to craft. We're here to celebrate Christmas and to find new ways to make Christmas cards. And
Exactly.
it's really exciting what you can give to your friends, your family, you know, your loved ones, and that's what Christmas is about, sharing.
So I have two slightly different ones here. One is shorter than the other. So what we're going to do is you take your card, you open it up, and then you're going to have a look where the bottom of the Christmas tree will come out. So I will show you on this one. You can see that this is about halfway
Yeah.
down the card. Okay, so you're going to slightly measure, and that's the bottom of the tree. So you're going to measure roughly. You don't need a
Yeah.
ruler for this. You don't need to. I normally actually just use my finger.
Yeah.
So roughly the size of my finger. So that's about there. Okay, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to, let me just put this away so you can see. I'm
Be
going to
careful
cut
for
it.
safety tip, viewers. Yes, if you have young children, obviously keep them assisted with scissors, maybe child-friendly scissors. It's always advisable, isn't it?
Yes, very good point, very good point. So you have a piece that you've cut. Now the next bit, as you're going up the tree, they're getting smaller
Oh, yes.
and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same thing, but you're going to take your longer piece and you're going to put it on top of your pre-cut piece. So you have a little gap, roughly I think about half a centimetre, maybe just over, but you can do it you can do it a little bit smaller, a little bit larger, the gap. It's not an issue as long as there is some sort of, they're getting smaller, the pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to cut this again, and I'm going to use the next bit to measure yet again. So I'm going to put it on top. I've got a little gap here, and then I'm going to cut it. If you have other ways of doing this,
Please share in the comments, actually. Yeah.
exactly. Cutting it so you can see the pieces are getting smaller
Yes, we can see
and
that, yes.
smaller. Yeah. Now this is going to be fiddly because they all keep popping apart. So the next bit, oh, okay, so again, one more time, I'm going to measure this. Excellent. That's a smaller one, and then we've got a teeny weeny one coming up. Again, a little gap.
Yeah.
There you go. And then I have one left over, which kind of fits. If your card is larger or smaller, you will just need to work out how much space you need for all of these bits. Okay.
It's already looking fantastic from here.
Right, so let's line them up.
Yeah.
So this is the next bit.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to do one more thing before I go any further. So, for the bottom of the tree, I have drawn the bottom of the tree here. So that's the trunk of it. However, what you can do, which I'm going to show you right now, is you can also use your spare piece of folded paper, and you're going to, so if you're going to measure where your card goes, where your little bits of tree go, so I'm going to start it from about here. So measure how much you have, and again, you don't need a ruler for this, you can do it just by eye. Measure how much you've got from the bottom of the tree to the bottom of the card, and just cut that piece off, just there, because that will be your trunk. Okay, so the next bit, that's the trunk, let's put that over there. The next bit, very important. You're going to take one of the pens, if you have colouring pens or pencils, and you're going to draw a star right at the top of the card. Now the reason I'm doing this is that way it's much easier to see where you are putting your last teeny weeny bit of the tree. Because I made a card yesterday, and I forgot to put the star. And then when I opened it up, it came right to the top, so I had no room to actually add it.
So always get your star in first. Yeah.
Put your star in first. Now the way I'm doing my star, you can do it anyway. The way I'm going to do it today, it's going to be 2 triangles, 1 triangle starting at the top, and then the other one is an upside down triangle. So this is, okay, and then you're just going to colour it in.
That's probably
You
one of
can-
the most easiest ways I've seen a
It
triangle being
is.
drawn.
It
I'll have to
is,
use that tip myself.
it is, and you can colour it
Yeah.
in like this. You can put another colour on top. I'm going
Mm.
to use possibly blue. Let's do this one. Just colour it in.
Yeah,
You can put glitter if you have glitter.
that's right. Whatever you have available.
Whatever you
Yeah.
have, exactly. Whatever you have available. Right, so that's the top. So now we can start. I find it easier to work from the top downwards, because if you work from down to the top, then your hands get in the way of already stuck pieces of paper. Okay, so find your teeny weeny bit of Constantine.
Mm.
There you go. Now, this is an important bit as well. Depending, you can do it both ways. So depending which way you stick this, it's easier actually to show on the longer pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you stick it this way, it will look slightly different to if you stick it horizontally. Okay. So what you need to do with your little one, you need to find out which is the horizontal bit. And the way that I do it is so all of the little bends are facing towards you and away from you. That way. So you pull it up apart that way. Okay.
Is that because it sticks easier on the card?
It's not. It just looks different. So
Looks
you can
different?
again you will have a look, because I
Yeah.
have done one of the pieces that was stuck a slightly different way, because of a small one. It's really hard to see.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter, but it will
Okay.
look slightly different.
Oh.
Okay. So I am going to. You can use sellotape, or you can use any sort of glue, Pritt stick. Today, actually, I am using wallpaper repair adhesive,
Okay.
because that sticks really well
Yeah.
to paper and cards.
Yes, of course. We're
Yeah.
wallpapering, of course. DIY.
So exactly,
Yeah.
DIY. So whatever you have in the house,
Yeah.
whatever you have in
Yeah.
the house. So I'm going to put a blob of glue. Oh, come on, glue, come out. A little blob of glue on there. And I'm going to, now I've forgotten which way it's going. See, I was saying, make sure that you know which way it's going. Okay, let's do it this way, I think. So for the top one, it's not really an issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing that you need to make sure is that it's right on the fold of the card.
Yes.
That's really important. It needs to be right on the fold, not over, not away from it, right on the fold.
Unfold.
Okay. Now, what's going to happen with this? I'm going to let it go, and it's going to spring up. Boing.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So actually, you can help that last bit by just
Giving it a firm
giving
press.
it a little
Yeah.
firm press. Okay. And then you're going to carry on. So the next bit, the next smallest bit, is coming up. Again, this is easier to see.
Yeah.
Right now it's bigger. It's easier to see that it needs to go this way. And you're going to put it right underneath your already stuck piece. You can leave a gap. It will look slightly different. You can leave a gap and then maybe fill it up with like I did with little bubbles.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you can do that, or you can stick them really close together. So have a go at both. See
Yeah.
what they look like.
The main thing is experimenting, see what works for you. At the end of the day,
Precisely.
it's your Christmas tree. You can decorate it how you want.
Now I'm going to add a little bit more glue on here. Once again. And
How are we doing for
stick that
comments
there.
there, Ola?
We just got questions about how to make Christmas envelopes.
Oh.
We also have someone asking what colours you have in your room.
What colours?
Yes.
What colours? Okay, well I'm going for Christmas colours. So I've got a red pen. I've got a green pen. Obviously green on green will not stand up. And I've got a blue pen, but you can use any colours that you want. I also have some glitter pens here, which are really useful. And I got these actually quite recently in Lidl. Other shops are available.
Yes, of course.
Just so. And these are really great for decorations, obviously on the cards later on. Okay, so I'm going to carry on with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick this one down now.
And those pens are great at spreading large areas of colour and glitter.
Exactly. So one more, and then it gets easier. You will see.
Yeah, in regards to the Christmas envelopes, what would you recommend there, Marsha?
What would I recommend? Well, sometimes I use envelopes that I have brought. Oh, look what happened. Okay, so I didn't notice that the other little bit was folded over, so I stuck it right next to it, forgetting that I need to fold it back.
Yeah.
Make sure it's folded back and then stick it
yes.
right. See?
So it kind of resists it. Yeah.
So that's why you need to make sure that they're all together like this. All right. And again, making sure that it's right on the fold. Right, so I have 2 more of these little things left. One so there. And one more. You know what might be easier also if we put something on top of this.
Yeah, give it a bit of weight.
Get a bit of weight. Look.
That will help, yeah.
That'll do, so I can see what I'm doing. Over here. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's coming
there you go. You can
nicely,
see
yes.
now. Okay, so the last bit of the tree is coming up.
Exciting.
Which is really exciting. That's a bit of the tree.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move this over again, and then I'm going to use this bit for the tree trunk.
Oh yes.
Now this bit I'm going to actually use lengthwise. Okay.
I think children will really love these. They're so much fun.
Let's get this down. Lovely. Okay, so this is going to be the bit that's quite tricky. It's not tricky, it's fiddly. It's just a little bit fiddly.
Yeah.
It's a little bit fiddly. Okay,
so maybe craft otherwise.
Exactly. So I will bend these bits over so you can see. So I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue on the ends of the already pre-stuck bits. One. And that one. Okay, so you can see that they're popping up. They're popping up a little bit, but that's okay. And then one more. And that one. Excuse me, my nose is so warm in here that my nose is running. I do apologise.
It's okay.
Oh gosh.
We've kept warm here at
Yes. Quite cold outside and coming into the studio all of a sudden.
Yes.
So I do apologise.
It is a bit of a rainy day today. Yes.
It is. It's horrible outside. Raining, miserable. Okay. Right, so we got to this bit. Now, this is the important bit. So what you're going to do is with your scissors, or you could do it with your ruler as well.
That's great.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your ruler on top of your little bits. One. As you can see, this is quite tricky. 1, 2, 3. Bend them over. Bend them over. Bend them over. So they are all. Gosh, I'm getting my things in a twist.
We'll get there.
We'll get there
It's
eventually.
fine.
So this is the bit that's going to take a little while. Okay, and then that last bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
The stump of the tree.
The stump of the tree.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to See, my hands are stuck.
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do is we're going to bend it over. And holding down with your ruler or your piece of, not card, but maybe scissors, something that doesn't really
Something
stick.
that weights it down.
Okay, weights it down,
Yeah.
and now you can remove, hopefully, without actually touching anything else. There you go. So they're all stuck together, hopefully. It has taken me a couple of tries. Bend it over. Okay, so I'm going to leave this one for a
Leave
little
that
while. Don't be tempted to open it immediately, because it will not stick and it'll just pop. So leave it for a few minutes, 5 minutes,
Yeah,
let's
5
say,
minutes
something
to
like that.
leave
Okay. So, however, this is a slightly different one. This is the one I've done earlier. Ta-da!
Yay. Oh, that's pretty. that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's quite easy. That is quite easy.
So viewers, that's a smaller one with how many we got? Five.
One, two,
sections?
three, four, five. Yes,
sections.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5, and the stump.
And
of
the
the
stump
tree.
at the bottom.
The stump
Wow.
of the tree. So at the bottom, of course, what I have done here is you can also put your presents in. You can draw your presents in, and that's just a box coloured in, like a square coloured in, and with little ties on top to represent the little bows
Yeah.
of the presents. I have also added little bubbles all around the tree, and there's your star.
The star at the top, bubbles,
The star at the top.
and
Okay.
presents to be opened.
Yeah, and presents is to
at
be
the
opened.
bottom.
Now, the front of it, how much time do we have left?
Oh, we haven't got long.
Oh.
Yeah, 10.
5-10 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to show how. So the front of the card, obviously, you can decorate in whichever way. Merry Christmas, I've put here. But I found this the easiest way to write with little bubbles, little dots, and everything. So what I do on this one, actually, I'm going to use the one that I was
Yeah,
using
okay.
earlier. Now, for this bit, you will need a ruler. Just
We have a question.
Yes,
Oh,
please
cool.
share.
Can you use super glue or sellotape for?
super glue, no, because super glue doesn't stick to card.
Ah.
Okay, but you can use sellotape. So the sellotape will just go on the bits on the ends. So you're going to stick it just on the bottoms of your edge. Okay, so it's just on the edge, on both sides.
I didn't know that
You
super
can-
glue didn't stick to cards.
It doesn't stick to
Yeah,
card.
you
I'm
learn something
afraid.
new every
Yeah.
day.
You can also use double-sided sticky tape, which is actually
Oh,
much
yeah.
easier.
I remember
to
double
use.
sided
Yeah.
tape at school. Yes, really good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can use a pencil. The easiest
Yeah.
way is to use a pencil, of course. I'm going to use, just so you can see, I have this great pen that you can actually rub out afterwards.
Oh, amazing.
So I'm going to make 2. You need to make sure also that you don't have glue
Yes.
on your ruler. Rookie mistake. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 lines. And then I'm going to write out with my pen just very lightly. And the idea of using something that rubs out
Yeah.
is you can rearrange the letters. Of course, you can measure them
Yeah.
beforehand, but I always find I run out of space.
Yeah.
But you can
And-
always rearrange them.
And Marsha's going to be writing Merry Christmas.
So I have written Merry Christmas.
And it's good to kind of have a pen that rubs out, or a pencil for that.
Or a pencil.
Yeah.
I'm just using a pen here because it's just easier to see than a pencil. Okay. So you've got your Merry Christmas, and then on the bottom I'm going to make a star. And the way that I make a star, very simple. You can measure it or not, and just it's a line horizontal and then another line vertical. And then I'm going to make a little segment here, and then another segment on the other side. Okay. So with your whichever coloured pens that you want to use, pens or pencils, or you can use your, actually no, don't use the glitter pen, because you won't be able to rub it out. You can use glitter pens after you've rubbed everything out. Okay, around, because that will get very messy. And what I did, just the simplest, you can write it out as well. I like these little dots.
Yeah, it gives a good festive feel,
yes,
doesn't it?
Exactly. They're like little bubbles of a tree.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing right here. So I'm just going to do the bubble. You can do each letter different colour if you want. Just follow the lines. You're putting the bubbles on top of your pre-drawn line. Okay, here we go. And I'm just going to do the R, and then we shall rub it.
And you've gone for a festive colour of red, obviously.
And I did go for the festive colour of red. Of course, I can use the green as long as it's a darker green, but it won't show up as well on my green card as red or blue. You can use black. You don't even have to use colours. You can just use a black pen if that's all you have.
Simplicity sometimes is the best way, isn't it?
It is.
Minimalism.
It is sometimes. So you've got the Mary. So I'm going to make sure that your pen is completely dry, because otherwise, of course, it will smudge. And I'm just going to rub out these lines.
This is new to me. I'm excited by this.
Erasing
pen.
Erasing pen. I know. They're great.
Oh, they're amazing.
They are great.
Yeah.
I would have loved one when I was in school for writing my essays.
Fantastic.
But I didn't have those. And there you go. So that's your Mary.
And it does stand out, that
it
pen.
does.
So it's good that you can see
exactly.
or be guided by it.
And then you're going to rub out your guidelines underneath.
Just sorry to our viewers, if the camera seems a bit unsteady, I'm just getting a closer view. So.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. All right. Okay. So you will do Christmas in the same sort of way.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the last bit I'm going to show you quickly before we open up our memory card.
Yeah. It's
Is
exciting.
I'm going to do the blue on here on your snowflake.
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's exactly the same idea.
Yeah.
Now at the end of each one, I did a little point, like a little triangle, just to give it a little bit more definition. And then I'm going to use another. Oh, I've got two blues here, so I'm going to use that. It's not even blue. That's a purple. I do apologise. Kind of looks similar.
Well, it gives that icicle look, isn't it? That sort
Exactly. So that would take a little. There we are. And a little point on the top, little triangles. So we're using a lot of triangles today. And then I'm going to do red again. And if you do them very close together, it will give you a slightly different look, of course.
Yeah.
There you are, a little triangle on the edge, and then we have one more line to do. Which colour should I use, Daniel? You're artistic. What should I go for? Shall I go for blue? Shall I go for? Oh.
We don't.
Let's go for this. Let's go for.
We go for a different. Yeah, that.
Red.
Red.
Everybody go slightly confused.
Yeah, that red gives it a nice balance.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah. You're right. You're right.
Good team effort there, Honor. Thanks.
Thank you for that. Okay.
Oh, that brings it together to nicely, yeah.
It does, indeed.
Good symmetry and sort of balance, isn't it? Yeah.
So you've got, and then of course you're going to rub. You don't have to rub them out, but I like rubbing them out, so you just get very straight lines.
Yeah.
People will ask, how did you do these straight lines like that?
It's a great technique to teach someone else, isn't it?
Right, here we go.
Oh, that's very effective.
All right, okay, so Christmas, do we have enough time for
we've got enough time. You can finish that off.
I can finish that off while we're...
Give the viewers a finished article.
Well, maybe we have some more questions.
Yeah.
Any comments, any questions out there?
Give me a second.
Okay. So I'm going to do these bubbles again. Quickly. Green on
Let's
green.
see. Ines is saying lovely cards, and Marie is saying, where did you get the pen from? Oh,
Pen?
yeah.
The pens. Ah, well.
The erasing pen.
Ah, the erasing pen. Well, again, I think I got it in W.H. Smith, if I'm not mistaken. But I think you get them in most shops nowadays. You know, if they've got stationery section.
Yeah, I think you might have answered some. You can use can you use super glue? Well, we answered that wrong.
No, we
Obviously
can't.
not yet.
Okay, we're almost there. And I'm going to use... Oh, gosh! Well, that was clever, wasn't it? So try not to pull your pens
I think you just put it
so they don't fall apart. Be careful with your equipment.
Oh, so it's got two sides.
It has two sides. These pens they have two sides. Christmas.
Anna is saying that the room looks fantastic with our lovely Christmas tree, of course.
Doesn't it just? Very festive. I felt very festive arriving here.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm going to finish off with my blue. There we are. Little bubbles. Okay, almost there. Right. What we'll do now is we shall rub this out yet again. Your guidelines are gone, so all you should have remaining are Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Yes.
There we go.
Oh wow. No, that's
Okay,
fantastic.
so here comes.
Oh, Anna has
Okay.
said, Anna Clements has commented saying, I'm going to do one on Saturday, so we've got a fan.
Ah,
Yeah.
fantastic, that's great. Okay, right, am I ready for
That's
this?
the opening action.
This is the opening action. Now, this one has slightly moved, as we can see. So this is the problem that we sometimes have, but that's okay. So we have... Now this one didn't stick properly because I stuck it the slightly wrong way. So that was my problem. As I said at the beginning, you need to check which way they are pointing, whether it's horizontal or vertical. So there we are.
That looks wonderful. Wow.
And that's all done from the magazines.
Amazing.
So you're really using and recycling magazines as well, good for the environment.
Yeah.
And you can see the bottom of the tree.
It really looks
As
like
well.
a trunk, isn't it?
It does look like
matching
a-
the colours as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just looking at it, the three-dimensional quality of it, how it's popped up, all those colours.
So ignore the top bit because that didn't stick properly. And you could see, you can, with Pritt stick, it might be a lot easier to use Pritt stick rather than the runny glue. I just didn't have any. Simply because Pritt stick isn't as sticky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But, as I said, you can use any kind of glue that will glue paper. There you are.
Beautiful.
There you are. And then at the bottom, it's up to you how you would like to decorate it, of course. And if you have any glitter or any maybe even bubbles that you can stick, just make sure that you actually use magazines or something that's thinner than your card.
Oh, okay.
That's really quite important because if the card is too thick,
Yeah.
then you won't be able to squish it down flat. It will be-
Maxine's commented saying they're much cheaper, as in, and they're as good as a bought card.
Oh, how
That's
lovely.
amazing,
Well,
yeah. Well, we're
Well,
selling
go
them
forth and start making your
Yeah,
Christmas cards,
exactly.
I say, and we would
Yeah.
love to see some of your work,
Yeah.
some of the ones that you've done. That will be fantastic. You can also maybe try and work out different shapes. Maybe you can do Christmas bubbles in the same sort of concertina shape. If you cut out a circle beforehand and then you fold it, and then when you open it up, it will be round. So that's another way of doing it. So see what you can come up with.
Yes.
So there we go. I think that is mainly what we can do today. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is wonderful, and thanks once again to Marsha for sharing her expertise in Christmas card making.
You're most welcome.
You're very welcome to have us. What an array of different things we've got here, as you can see, viewers, from different sizes and different techniques and colours, and it's really fun, and tactile and playful, and
It is.
I think it appeals to most age groups. Children can get stuck in with their parents, their carers, loved ones.
Exactly,
And,
and maybe even together. Maybe somebody can hold those little bits that keep coming out. That
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe I should have borrowed your hands for that bit as well.
But it's a real sort of sharing activity as well. So
It
yes,
is.
once again, you can definitely try that together. So thanks once again to Marsha for joining us today on
You're most
Facebook
welcome.
Live.
I really enjoyed that.
If you find this video of help and you'd like to find out more, please comment, like and share any help that you found going forwards with any crafting. We will also host these videos on our C Hub. So our C Hub is now live, so this video will be on Facebook Live for a few days, and then it will be uploaded to our C Hub, where we have different categories such as Skill Up, we've got Eye Health, Get Creative, Get Active. There's a few other things on technology and information and advice. So you can find these videos later, they'll be uploaded there. In the meantime, just like, share and comments. Your comments are really appreciative.
Anna says she should use stars in hers because she's not good at it.
She's not going to do stars in her.
Because she's not good at doing
You can
stars.
put a little bubble on the top.
Yeah, if there's certain things that you want to adapt to your liking, you can tailor it to what you'd like. It can be a variety of different things that you'd like.
And Anna, when we come back, we shall have a little lesson on how to do the stars. Okay?
Yeah. When we're back,
Star drawing
Star
session.
drawing would be
Star
brilliant.
drawing session. That'll be.
So join us, thank you once again, Marsha. So join us next week where we'll be joined by David Barker, who's a specialist at Rawlings Optician. So it'll be about eye health. We'll be discussing really interesting things about eye health, how to look after your eyes, nutritional advice, and ways that we can engage technology to improve your health benefits. So David will share his expertise, and he'll be joined by myself next week for Facebook Live. So in the meantime, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask David, have them prepared. Until then, be safe, be well. Thanks to Ola once again for giving his input and his technical know-how. And to everyone, see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.